Does it through the legs, hezzy.
Make something happen. Second one.
Gets cut off, goes behind the back.
In this early part of this quarter for the Thunder.
Resets downhill. So let's look at the details. Let's see why that works. Okay, so why is this move so effective? Let's break it down. So he's here at the elbow, right? He does his behind the back dribble after he gets cut off, and he resets with a hop. So it's like this: behind the back dribble, boom, and it resets with a hop. And on the reset with the hop, look, behind the back dribble, on the reset with the hop, he has his right leg down, his right foot down, and he's pushing off his right foot. Boom. How you doing? Is that another dog? Oh, okay. He gets himself in position to attack downhill with like maximum force, and the move he uses is a little hop. I call it, or I'm gonna call it, just simply opening the hips, creating a new angle. So that's all he's doing. He's opening his hips, and he's creating a new angle. So he comes, boom, behind the back, he gets cut off, and then without even bouncing it a second time on this side, he opens his hips and he creates a new angle. And that gives him the ability to attack straight downhill. Boom. And he finishes with the right. So it's really as simple as that. Now, it'll take time to get the footwork worked out, most likely. So behind the back, and he opens his hips and he creates a new angle. On the hop to create a new angle, notice that his right foot is ready to propel him forward, and his left foot follows. So it's here, bang, behind the back, opens up his hip to create a new angle, right foot, left foot, right? And he goes and he takes the layup. I honestly don't believe this move is gonna work unless you get to a certain depth in terms of your lunge or your squat. You have to get to, because on the behind the back, you have to be at a certain depth, and on the switch you have to be at a certain depth in order to take advantage of the move, right? This isn't my focus today, but I'm just gonna mention it because I think it's important. So on the behind the back and on the hop, you'll see his right arm sort of swing over. I'll make this the focus of another video with examples. So bang, and his right hand gets in between the ball and the defender. It's just protection. Playing defense on offense is how I like to refer to it. So bang, the hop, he plays defense and offense with his right hand, and he goes downhill and then protects and finishes the layup. That's just one example of how useful opening up the hips are in relation to attacking downhill, or just creating an attacking angle that didn't exist before, right? So he's here. If he's here, bang. I'm not in position really I'm not in position to attack with any speed downhill going left. The only way to do that, well, I guess you could do something like this, but less explosive. Look, bang, bang. You have all of your power in your legs going that way. So bang, bang. And you have all of your power going downhill. Let's look at another example. A much more subtle example, nonetheless, the same concept about opening up the hips to create a new attacking angle. He's out at half court on this one, and this one is much more subtle because it doesn't really lead to a basket, you know what I mean? But I still think it's important, especially if even just for solidifying the concept of opening up your hips and how opening up your hips creates new attacking angles. So he's here at about half court, and the defender's sort of, poking with his hand. So this is even more useful in situations where in situations where the defender is a little handsy, right? It's very simple.
And SGA, they don't
He just opens up like this. It's like a little hop. It's a little hop, but it opens up his hips and it gives him ability to go down here. At the same time, that little hip opening, it brings the ball sort of behind him, and it gives him distance from the defender's reach. So it's super simple, but I think it's super important. It's in the details is where the magic is. But he's here, and he just opens up his hip a little bit, just to create an angle, just a little bit. It's nothing extreme. He just gets his hips aligned so that he can get downhill, protect the ball. And many of you might just be doing this naturally already. In that case, don't even pay attention to this, because then you might start thinking about it. If you're already doing it naturally, that's perfect. Perfect. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to change anything. You don't need to worry about anything. But for those like myself who in my younger years struggled with just an offensive mindset, an attacking mindset, and I sort of lacked the understanding of how it all worked, this would be super helpful for me. So coming down just like that, like I said, and he's relatively low, all he does is he opens his hip up a little bit. That's it. Here, opens his hip up a little bit. He gives himself an opportunity to become a threat, right? So here, and he has his right hand still ready to play defense on offense. And he comes down, and I think in the clip he does like a behind the back, he gets into something else.
And SGA, they don't talk about his defense enough in the MVP conversation. That time,
But that's it, really. And now the third one is one that happened on the sideline. In this scenario, he's along the sideline, and the defender, moves up a little bit to pressure him.
on the floor, sat those minutes in the third. Takes a little bump, fading out of bounds, and SGA.
And he just opens up his hips and uses his momentum to get around his defender down the sideline. I think it's important to not be thinking about the ball. In any of these scenarios, right? You can't, this is why you want to drill ball handling work and all those other things. Because if you're thinking about the ball, you're not going to let the ball sort of flow the way it flows naturally. He allows the ball to sort of drift behind him so that he can use the full momentum. So it's like this. He approaches the defender approaches him, and he just goes like this. Besides not thinking about the ball and just sort of letting everything flow, this dribble that gets his hip open it's gonna be in synchronization with the foot sort of jabbing the ground like a boxer. You see a boxer when they throw their jab, that front foot, that lead foot, is in unison with the jab. It's similar with this, how he's here, and then on that power bounce, that right foot is attacking the ground. So he's here, and on that power bounce, that right foot is attacking the ground. So let's look. Remember, the key is that hip opening. So coming down, look how my hips have opened. Right here, my hips have opened, and I have all the leverage and momentum, and my body's just gonna swing and go downhill. So my defender is already beat. If he's playing up on me and I'm in this position here going downhill, I already have him beat. All I have to do is come like this. Here, defender presses up. I did that. I jab with my, like a boxer. It's really forceful. I want to emphasize that, how forceful this pound dribble and this step is to create the angle, right? It's really forceful like that. Like that. Goes here, and he's going downhill. That is gonna do it for today, I think. So to go over, think about what we just did. Main points: hip opening. And what does a hip opening do? It creates an attacking angle, a new attacking angle that didn't exist before. It puts your feet and your momentum in the best position to be aggressive going downhill, because that's what we want. We want to put pressure on the rim. The back foot is your cannon foot. That's what's going to be your propeller, your initial propeller. So your explosiveness is going to come first from the back foot. And lastly, your attacks. When you attack, synchronize that dribble with the jab foot. You know, like a boxer. He's throwing a jab. He's in sync with his body. His whole body's connected, and it's forceful. It's like you're really tensing and flexing, and with power. So outside of all that, really, ideally what you want is to forget all this once you start playing. But to forget all of it, I believe you have to train it. You have to drill it. You need repetitions so that when the game comes, you can forget everything you've learned and just be free. Be free and play and have fun. I hope this was helpful. I hope you tune into the next episode. I don't know when that will be. I think I'm gonna focus on SGA's moveset for a while. Not even necessarily moveset always, but even things like this, like the details and the mechanics of movements and things like that. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you're new. If you want to, I mean. And I'll see you next time.